Alright, let's continue. Let's see. Let's make the center hub. It shouldn't be too hard. So, start with a cylinder. Turn on X-ray. And we need something that's divisible by 5. 20 should work. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a cap. Maybe 2. This will preserve the interior circle there. And then I'm going to take this point, snap it. I'm holding V and the middle mouse dragging, pre-selecting this arrow. Okay, let's scale this up. Alright, so we don't need that. So that's the cap there. This is this part, and you can see we kept a circle on the outside, and we have this straight line on the inside and the straight line on the outside. That's what we want. Alright, now I'm going to select just these faces here, delete the rest, duplicate 72 and rotate Y, and Shift D. And then click our little button here, which will combine and merge. Alright. Next, let's look from here. So this comes up like that. Now it's just a matter of figuring out where it goes. It would look good here. Yep. Okay, so now we need to add some bevels, and then we'll need to subdivide. The problem is when we go to subdivide, we'll have a little problem. Set it to equal, autocomplete. Set a wide bevel here so it's nice and smooth, and then we'll add bevel like this and like that. Let's not add one there. The reason I want to add a small bevel here is because I want to round this out a little more. And now we can add our bevel. And then I'm going to select these faces here. I'm going to extract like that. And delete history. Okay, there it is. Now we need to combine all of these parts. And we made this kind of dense. And that's alright. But by making it dense like this, it's hard to Boolean. So what we need to do is we need to increase the resolution of this to help us Boolean this in. Now, the problem with this part here is that if I press 3, see how it rounds the edges out? I don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert an edge loop, set it to equal, and I'm going to insert it close to here like that. And I'm going to take this point and just snap it up there to that vertex. Then I'm going to use the split tool. I'm going to create a corner here and delete this edge. See, now it doesn't do that. So now we can select these faces, delete the rest, duplicate, flip it to the other side, -1, duplicate, 72 and rotate Y, Shift D, Shift D, Shift D. There we go. So now we'll combine this and soften. You can see it stays straight and that stays rounded, which is good. Okay. So now I actually want to select these edges here. Then I'm going to convert selection to vertices, create a lattice, and I want to change this maybe a little, maybe like that. Okay, I think I know what I want to do. Let's clear history. I actually want to create like kind of a dip here. I think that would look nice. So to do that, we're going to select the vertices down here and create a nonlinear wave. And let's see if we can get this to work. Okay, it's kind of working. Okay, if we do that. Okay, it's kind of hard to visualize on this. So I know exactly what I want to do. The problem is I can't really see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a plane. I'm going to make it really dense, like 128. And I'm going to place it. I'm going to snap it down to the lowest vertices here, like that. I'm going to select both, click, press F9, and then I can select the vertices down here. Actually, let's get rid of this wave handle. Like that. And then we'll create a nonlinear wave. But I'm going to hide that rim there so that we already have this. That way I can work on this wave and see exactly what it does. And if we unhide the geometry here, you'll see it'll match exactly to what the bottom wave is doing. So it's just for visualizing. And let's see if we can get this to do exactly what we want. I think it's kind of like this. Like that, I think. Let's see. Okay, I think this is it. So let's bring back the rim and hide this. I see what happened. So we just need to take this and scale it down. There we go. So that bend there is exactly what I want. Okay, so then just clear history and we can delete this, we don't need it. Now we have this little bend there, which I really like. Okay, now we can put a lattice on this. Let's see. Where am I doing? There it is. There. Okay, that's better. And now we need to make sure it's going through the geo here. And then I think we also want to kind of round it close to the edge there. So I'm going to create another wave. Okay, that's not doing exactly what we want. Let's see. Alright, we'll figure out another way to do that. Let's get rid of the wave. Alright. Now let's do this. We need to create the holes for the bolts. So it may be a good idea to do it now before we subdivide it. So let's do that. I want to add a loop here like this. Create that. Just gonna scale it up to match the hole. Like that. Then we need to figure out what kind of resolution we need. Because what you want to, when you're using Booleans, you want to make sure that you're matching the topology. If you're not doing that, your Booleans are going to just either not work or take forever. So let's see. This is probably going to be okay. Let's see, what's this? 16. I think that might work better. Yep. Alright, so to Boolean this, I want to get rid of, actually I want to get rid of the interior. And for this to work well, I'm going to scale it down just a little more. I want to extrude the faces like this. The reason is I want to have the bevel built in. I don't want to have to draw it afterwards. So by extruding first, we can make sure that we have a bevel there, and it actually makes it really easy to clean it up. Alright, so that's good. Probably you want to just move this up a little away from our bevel, and then we need to see if we need any more loops. Let's see, that. Right, I think this will work. Select both, Mesh, Boolean Union. Now, this is the easy part. Double click this loop, double click this loop, and then Control backspace. And there we go. Now we have a bevel. All we need to do is select the faces on the inside, delete them. We can select all of the vertices, delete those. And then if I select these faces, these edges here, I'm going to extrude down like that. I'm going to now hold V. If you hold Control Shift right click, you can keep spacing off and make it snap, and do that. There. You can see that our bevel works well. We have some cleanup, but it's a lot less than we would have to deal with if we didn't do this first. So I'm going to just isolate this, and also I don't want to work on more than I have to, so I'm going to select this, deselect that, shift select that. Alright, there we go. Hide this for now. Let's clean this up a little. So I want to keep this curvature, so I'm just going to re-loop this. Just have it do that. Just makes it a little easier, so we have space to work with. It's going to go there. Let's see. It's going to go there. There. Let's just do that. That's going to look better. so this will have to go into here, and that into there. So for this corner, right, if we want this to work well, we have to kind of do something a little different. I'm gonna make sure that's flat, maybe push it out a little bit, like that, and then I'm gonna go from here into there, and delete this edge. And it creates a little bit of a rise there, but I think it's a good trade-off for the kind of geometry we have. We could try and lower this. That might fix it a little bit. So, and I think it's pretty minor that you won't really notice too much. But I think the geometry flow will stay better this way. And for this point and this point, all we have to do, well, I mean, we could also, there's another way to treat this. If we, instead of going to the corner there, we can go to the outside, and we can see if that works better. I'm going to go like that, and then like this, and then like that, and like that. This is kind of spreading out the corner bevel, and that looks better. Alright, so that's way better. See, that looks great. Duplicate. The reason I keep duplicating and merging over and over, I just like to see the whole thing, because I need to see everything to visualize it, so it just helps me. Let's see, why didn't that work? Oh, how did our pivot get moved? Okay, somehow we moved the pivot. Oh, it didn't get moved. Because it's a pentagon, our pivot is not at the center of the symmetry. Our pivot's going to be at the center of the object. So we have to make sure we check the pivot. There we go. And select this, bring this down like that a little bit, and then down and down one more. There. That's great. Okay, and then we'll take this, bring that down. There, that looks really good. Alright, so now we need to do a little Boolean. I still want to fix this. How do we do that? Let's see. Alright, let's see if we can do it with a plane. We did it once before. Create nonlinear wave. Okay, so let's hide this, and then let's work on this. And I forgot to add detail. Alright, so let's one more time. That's what we want. Okay, so let's bring this back. Alright, I think that's gonna work. We can get rid of that and clear history on this. Now, of course, it's distorted and messed up, but that's okay. We just need to move these down. So we just need to select. It's kind of annoying to do this, but not a big deal. There we go. See, now it's coming down. It's going to be good. Okay. Now, before we do the Boolean, I kind of want to do a little bit of a. I want to round this out, kind of like the real wheel. So we need to work on this section because that's the flattest. That's the most, the bottommost point. It's this point right here. So I'm going to use curves to draw the kind of shape that I want. So I want it to go down like this, and then like that. Oops. So this will just be a guide for us. Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll add some divisions. Let's see. Now let's see what this will do when I scale to the center. Alright, so the way we're going to do this is we're going to use lattices, and we're going to use a lot of lattices. So we'll go from here okay, let's see. Alright, so that's the shortest distance. Okay, so we need to do it kind of manually. So I'm going to set up these lattices. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to create a lattice on each section, like that. That's not going to work. Alright, we'll have to come back to that. Let's do the Boolean. We can fix that later. Alrighty, so this is definitely not dense enough, so we're going to subdivide. Now we can also duplicate and hide just to keep a version. Let's subdivide. Let's see if it's dense enough. And what we're looking for is that the geometry more or less matches. And right now it does not. Maybe one more time. And see if we have enough now. No, maybe it's too much. We could probably make this work. And I think I will. So let's do that. Okay, so to do the Boolean, you can't have any open edges. So we actually want to close this off anyway. So let's do that. There. And how I'm selecting this is I'm looking at these faces are smaller than these, so I know that's where the change happens in the in the curves that we use to create this. So I know that if I select the larger edge loops, it will be even on both sides, and that's working. So bridge, okay. Well, could also just done that. Okay. And also I don't want it to get really slow with the amount of geometry we have, so I'm going to work on a small section. And same with this. There, that's all we really need. And the Boolean will always work as long as the geometry, both geometries are completely solid or watertight where they intersect. Let's clear history and let's do it. I'm going to save because sometimes Boolean does crash. Boolean Union. And we just want to look and see if anything is out of place or kind of messed up. You even have to look in other parts because sometimes the Boolean will delete things, and that's because of this threshold. So when you're creating Boolean, just set the threshold to off and it should be better. Okay, so the part that we picked is not in the ideal place, so we're just going to rotate this way. Let's see, 72. Why is this? 72 and then 36. So negative 108. There. Now we can select half and delete. So there's less for us to clean up. And now we'll have to clean up these extra triangles. I wish it didn't make the triangles, but it does, so. Okay. Clean this up. And this guy. Alright, so let's start cleaning this up. The first thing you want to do is create like a bevel to contain where the Boolean happens. So I'm gonna select these guys here. Just create a bevel like this. Make it larger, like that. So that any changes we make won't affect the rest of the geometry. And let's do the same here. Okay, and the easiest thing to figure out here is that that's done. So let's start cleaning it up. Okay. So what I'm doing here is that whenever you see a situation like this, it's actually really easy to clean up. All you have to do is find two edges that are doing this, and then you want to reroute them into each other like this. And the way you do that is you click here, there. So I just rerouted them into each other, so like that. On this side, because this is symmetrical, we can route it into the other side like that, and then when we duplicate it and merge it, it will route into the other side of it. So you can see here it's nice and clean, and it just does that, just reroutes in the flat area. Whoops. So here we'll have to, I think the best thing to do would be to spread some of these out like this. Okay, I don't want to connect this yet because I want to draw a bevel here at some point. So first thing I'm going to do is just reroute this, move this loop back a little bit away from where the bevel is going to go. Like that. Okay, let's keep going. We'll figure this out later. Like that. And these are easy. Now because it doesn't really matter how many edge loops we have here, we can just kind of do anything we want. We can also just do this actually. I'll delete that. Delete this. Select that. just do that. Alright. Some edge loops will fix those issues that we were seeing just now. Not a big deal. But you can see this is looking nice. Looks like it's welded in pretty well. We'll add a bevel. This loop we can redo. Like that. Just makes everything nice and neat. And now we can finish this by just doing that. Okay, so while we have this, let's figure out if we can round this off. Alright, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to take this and duplicate it and loft between. Let's add some section span. Let's set this to 3D. Okay, add divisions like this. And then a couple here. There. I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees to this side. And let's flip it. Okay, so this is what we want. We want to take this, push it around through there. And so there's something you can do to do that, and actually it's pretty cool. I'm going to select these edges here. I'm going to extrude them. I'm going to make sure keep spacing is off. I'm going to snap them into the center like that. I'm going to then go to multi. Come on. I'm going to select. This is kind of annoying. So with multi, basically, if you select an edge and then drag a selection, it'll select those edges. But if you select the face, then drag a selection, it'll select the faces. And then I'm going to hold Shift and select this edge, the edge on the center, basically on the center of our grid, the origin. And now I'm going to go into the mesh tools and click wedge. And we'll do the wedge in the opposite direction, like that. So let's see, we want to go, let's hide that there. Let's see, I don't know what that is, how many divisions that is. Let's see if we can get it closer. That's pretty close. And then we just need to ramp up the divisions. Perfect. So actually that's moved a little bit, so let's perfect. Alright, so now we can select these faces here, delete those, delete this, and now we have this section here that we want. That looks perfect. And then I'm going to go in here, delete that. I want to have a version saved, so I just duplicate it and hide it. There. So you can see what that looks like. That looks pretty good. Okay, so now what we need to do is add loops based on this new geo. Like that. Okay. And what I want to do is actually separate this geo out. So I'm going to click extract. So now it's all separate, because what I'll do is I will take this edge loop, and then I will, actually let's select that, hold D, move the pivot there, I'm going to then snap it, oops, keep spacings on, I'm going to then snap it there, and this one will need to scale to kind of match that. Okay, good enough for that section. Snap that. Now the problem we're going to start having is that it's not going to match the lines here. So I'm going to hold C. I'm going to turn the wireframe on. I'm going to middle click on this edge and drag until it matches. I know this is kind of annoying and seems like it's not very accurate. Probably it's not, but I think it's good enough and it'll work, and you'll never notice that it's not exact. Now I want to scale this in a specific direction, so I'm going to click set orientation to component and select that edge. Now you can see I can scale in that direction. Okay. this one doesn't match exactly. I'm just going to use a lattice, and just going to select this point here and just snap it there. That's good enough. Okay. So I'm going to delete up to here. So we'll go up like that. There. This one, delete this. Go down here. And I just want to kind of redo the loop here a little bit. So I'm going to use the split poly tool actually. Go from here to there. And then I can delete that. So we're going to combine these two. First, let's snap those. It's nice and clean. Let's combine this now. We don't want to combine yet because see these, this right here, this will create non-manifold geometry and cause us a lot of problems. So I'm going to just extrude that, and then I'm going to create a lattice and make sure keep spacing is on. I'm going to snap the pivot there, and then snap that there, snap the pivot here, and snap that there. There, now we can combine. Let's see. Oops. There. Soften edge. It's looking really good. Okay, so to fill this in, really simple. Double click this edge, edit curves, no, necessarily not edit curves. We're going to go to modify, convert, poly edge to curve. Same here. And for more on this technique, there's a video I made on filling holes in Maya. You can check it out on my channel. Surfaces, boundary, we'll go to isoparm, geometry, blah blah, apply, reverse, there it is, and then combine. We can clear these away now. Okay, and we can also select that. Let's grow. There. All right. It's good enough. We have a nice bevel. Alright, so let's add some bevels to make sure everything looks good. We'll drop one here. We'll have to fix this. And now on the inside, like that. Now for here, I'm going to draw the bevel manually. So I'm going to click from here. I'm trying to line this straight like that. This is just temporary. As you can see, it's looking pretty good. Really like this area. We'll need to do the same on that side. So let's see what we have so far. Okay, so this is what we have so far. I think it looks really good. Very nice and precise. It's a little dense, but you know, I think it's okay. Alright, so in the next video we'll finish this. We'll add the Mercedes logo, and we'll finish up the wheel. Alright, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.